Yeah. Hi, Leon. What were your immediate emotions after watching the Hurricanes come back and steal that?
Obviously not one of joy, that's for sure. Yeah, we've spoken around the week how they were hanging there and they won't go away and they'll keep coming, and I thought we had some good momentum and we had opportunities to close them off completely, but weren't able to do so. So, like I said, it hurts. These games hurt. We've been here before, and we're just going to sit in a rocky seat for the next 4 hours back to Queenstown, I think, and have to dwell on it. But credit, they just keep chucking stuff at us, and they managed to get there in the end, which is pretty heartbreaking.
A bit of disbelief, I guess, from players, coaches. You're up 32-14, like pretty well dominated much of the contest, and then somehow they steal it.
Yeah, sport, isn't it? Like I thought we played them. Played the game we wanted to play. I thought we executed our game plan really well. I thought our forwards were really good in a lot of areas. So the tweaking's minor, really. I suppose that's a positive, is we're not going to have to change a lot. But whether or not missing that first week in their last 5 minutes, we didn't quite have the energy that they did. I'm not sure, but we just dropped the ball at the end.
And just lastly from me, Tom, just your take on things, being out there on the field. You seem to dominate and have most of the momentum, and then how did they sort of come over the top of you?
Yeah, as Ringy said, I thought we executed what we wanted to for the majority of that game. And saying it though, even in the first half, I thought the only opportunities we gave them were off the back of our mistakes. We just weren't ruthless, and we just didn't quite close the door on them. And that's what probably happened in that sort of 70th minute. We had an opportunity, but we gave them a sniff. And when you give a team like Hurricanes go forward, the amount of strong and athletic ball carriers that they've got, if you give them momentum, they're hard to stop. And yeah, that's what they did.
Mark?
Sure. Leon, obviously you didn't get the result you were wanting, but there was a lot of interest in how your new number 12 was going to go. I know the result kind of overshadows a bit of his performance, but how did you think he went, in a game in which he got pretty busy in?
Yeah, look, I thought a lot of guys played well. I thought Roger had a very, very good game, considering it was his first real game of Super Rugby. And he was, like you say, a lot of work. I thought he was always dangerous on attack. He played within our structures really well. You can see he's still learning, some little detail around the breakdown, etc., where he got penalised at one point. But, next time you watch him play, he won't do that, as that's the way he is. So I think some good signs there, obviously.
Tom, you mentioned, that it was a new competition and you very much had a new mindset around this year and proving yourselves as a team. What do you think your big takeaway will be, when this defeat's digested?
I think it'll be that ruthless mindset, and just not giving teams a sniff. And just as I said, just not give them a sniff. Otherwise, if we give them that little sniff, and it can be a massive change of momentum, just as we found out tonight. But the way we played and what we did for 70 minutes there, it's by no means, it's a tough lesson, but we'll be back. There's no doubt about it.
And lastly, from me, Leon, sad day for the Blues franchise with the news about Joe Alivanderi. I just wonder if, did the boys, on top of Vainga Tuigamala, who never played for the Blues but was an Auckland Rugby identity, I just wonder, were you aware of that as a group, with their slightly heavy hearts, I guess, going into the game?
Yeah, we were aware of it, and we wore black band around our arms in respect. And Joe Ali features on a lot of our videos that we play when we look back at some of the Blues legends of the past. And Ingers is probably a little bit earlier again, but I used to watch a lot of Inga growing up, and he was always the smiling assassin, really. So, really sad day for the families of those two men and rugby. So, we have spoken about it.
Tom.
Cheers, and g'day guys. Hey, Leon, just looking at sort of the work in the latter half of that game, all your full reserves came on and seemed to do a pretty good job of maintaining momentum, but obviously those last 5 minutes. How did you think the guys went off the bench?
Look, it's an important part of the game is being able to come on and add value off the bench and not detract from the work that's being done. And there's a skill in that, waiting for 50, 60 minutes before you get your crack is difficult. And I thought, by and large, we were pretty good. I thought, the first half performance was outstanding, and we weren't able to quite put them to bed then, but we had some opportunities, and the second half was the same. But there was a few errors from some guys off the bench that we'll probably look at a little bit closer, and there's some good stuff as well. So there's more errors in that last 10 minutes probably than probably the first 70 minutes, which was a frustration for us.
And presumably some of that comes down to as well, obviously the score you guys had built, and I guess players getting a little bit loose and thinking the job was done.
I don't think there was loose about thinking the job was done. I think that the Hurricanes did a fantastic job of shifting the ball around and holding the ball and creating pressure and getting quick ball. So they did it against the Crusaders in the last preseason game and won on full time, and they came back last week against the Crusaders again and racked up a few tries, and we didn't have them far enough out of reach when we could have. So there's plenty for us to work on, but like I said earlier, there's a lot of stuff that we will be happy with as well, and making sure that we don't forget about the good stuff we did.
Just on a similar note, obviously Tom off the field at the end of the game, and Luke Romano as well, and a few guys from last year not there. Do you think you guys sort of lacked a bit of leadership there at the end?
Is that for me? Sorry. Well, you'd hope not, because we've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of rugby. So, look, leadership's not going to make people make a tackle. We missed a couple of key tackles really, and we chucked the ball away pretty loosely with about 3 minutes to go when we had them under the pump. And those little moments, they're the key moments, and we've spoken a lot about grabbing the moments, and I thought we did that a lot of times. We turnovers on our line, big scrums when we needed to, and plays that bundled stole a line out just before half time. Those were big moments that we won, but we didn't win enough of them at the end.
And just last one from me. I just want, and on the flip side, lost Paddy and Gerard obviously from last year, but pretty big performance from Josh Goodhue. Maybe both of you could speak to that a little bit, please.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I thought he was massive tonight. He had some big hits and physical presence and real cool head around that line-out time. So yeah, I thought he was outstanding.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
And Melita. Melita, have you gone? Okay. Well, I think that's it, unless there's anyone's got a follow-up they wish. Okay.
Just one quick one, Leon. Of your injured players at this stage, I know it's early, but would you be hopeful of seeing Bowden and Dalton back next week, or just maybe Bowden?
Very likely to see one of the two. It's actually hard to say. Both of them are coming from concussion, and to say that's dangerous, it only takes one headache waking up the next morning, and that's the end of that plan. So at the moment, they're both looking likely. They're heading in the right direction, but again, I say that with caution, given the nature of the injury.
Cool. And Akira's a fracture, right? Fractured.
Yeah, Frank's in the foot, so that's a significant injury, and it was a really innocuous sort of a hit at training, which is a shame. He was looking sharp and keen to go, so it's a big loss for us. Obviously, a couple of days out before the game, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery.
Just one last one on Caleb and Mark Talia. Pretty impressive on the two wings after probably a slightly quiet 2021 from those two.
We're busy on the wings. we ask our outside backs to have a lot of involvements and get off the wings, and I think both of them did that really well tonight and had a big impact on the game, both with ball in hand and on defence. So they'll be pleased with their outing.
Great, thanks, guys.
Okay, if there's nothing more, thank you very much. I know you've got a bus trip to make, and look forward to seeing you back in homeland next week for what will be big return to Eden Park. Thanks very much.